Here we go. Hi, guys. Welcome to the Natural Progressive Women's Wednesday. I'm your host. I'm Chris with the Natural Progressive, and this is Whitney, the Green
Hey
Report.
everyone. Here we are.
We are so not ready for this. But yeah, say hello to some of the people while I pull up my chat over here.
We got Val's here, Bio 2.0, Pat the Batman fan,
And
Echoes of Not is here, Book Hermit, Jilly Love, Cindy Seeley,
hi, Buck.
Chris Foster, Moose Gal, Environmental Coffee House, Sandy.
Sandy.
Let's see.
Happy birthday, Sandy.
Oz, hey
Happy
Oz.
birthday, and hope your foot gets better. Foot injuries are serious, so talk to me. I know all about foot injuries. I've had so many foot injuries. She dropped a piece of firewood on her foot.
Oh no.
Yeah, that could be bad.
Hope you're
So
doing okay, Sandy. Doesn't sound good.
Oz is here. Kim Centeno is here. Vala, well, you already said hello to Val. Egos of Not. Did we miss anybody? Scott Murto is here. You said hello to Pat the Batman fan? Oh no, Moose Gal is here. Moose Gal, I'm going to start doing like baking videos and all that, but I think your stuff will probably be safe as long as it doesn't have like um, little bugs in it and stuff. I think it doesn't go bad if it doesn't get bugs in it. Generally, flour, sugar, salt. Sugar and salt are pretty much preservatives, so not much danger of them going bad. Um, I wouldn't worry about it too much unless you get like mouse infestation and feces and shit in it, or the little bugs in there. I think you'll be just fine. I just consider they packed pounds and pounds of it across the prairies in the pioneer days, so those are pretty much non-perishable goods. So if that, I hope that helps. I hope.
As long as it doesn't get wet, right?
Yeah. Yeah, if it's
Okay.
high humidity, that might be an issue as well. So consider those things. It's kind of not an easy answer, really. So no bugs, no moisture content. I mean, if it's caking together, probably not a good thing. Salt will always crust up a little bit, and that doesn't mean it's bad. It's a preservative. So, I mean, they preserved ham in salt. So if you can preserve meat in it, it's usually pretty safe. I wouldn't worry about the salt at all. Um, unless unless it got like mouse poop in it or something, then I worry about it a little bit. So hopefully that helps. I'm serious, I'm gonna do a sourdough starter thing and have y'all learn how to make bread from just flour and water and salt. Ironically enough, flour, water, and salt is all you need to make bread. It's crazy. You don't need yeast at all.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool and fun. So
All right, we'll be looking forward to that.
I've spent a lot of time working on it.
The cooking show with the Natural Progressive.
Yeah, well, old world skills that you need now.
There you go.
That will be really cool. Okay. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to. Did you see last week when Pat's wife did the outro for us? I'm so looking forward to them recording um, her music, and so we can do an outro that's pre-recorded, so we don't have to worry about sound issues.
Okay, awesome.
I know. Kim Centeno's a sourdough starter is fun to make. Yeah, it's like you're taking care of a baby. It's just like you're taking care of a baby. I don't know. I mean, because you have to feed it every day, and yeah, I mean, and you name it and everything. I have two. I have Old Timer and I have Kenny Rogers because for Kenny Rogers who just passed away. So I made it like the same week he passed away. That's when I started it. So I have Kenny Rogers. Old Timer is one I did back in 2009 that I saved and started up again. So you can preserve starter and save it for years and years. So that's Old Timer is 2009 Old Timer. Yeah. Grateful Heretic. You got to get your two toes in it. That way you get some natural yeast going. Ew, 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 ew. That's just gross.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes I don't realize what I've read till it sinks
I
in a
know.
second. It's like, what the hell? What the hell?
So I'm echoey, apparently, according to some comment. Shit,
Oh,
I knew that was an issue.
oh, hello,
I don't
Angela.
know. Sorry, go ahead.
You should have, yeah, I should have someone doing knitting for me because I have no fucking clue how to knit. I do have someone, I know someone who can
I
knit
used
quite
to.
well. I just, I've just never, sewing and knitting, all that kind of thing is not my favorite thing to do. Um,
Yeah.
I do have a pair of shorts that I made in high school sewing class, and they've kept up really well because I can still wear them. So,
I think all that stuff is with my parents. So. All
do
the stuff you make.
they don't
All
do
the,
that anymore? Do they? Do they still do like sewing
I think they're
class?
elective. I remember taking an elective like sewing, and I don't
Yeah,
remember
it
anything.
was an elective, but
It's
yeah,
not good.
shop sewing. Hi, Zox.
Well, if you don't do it, it's hard to retain that skill. Like I think I remember when I was younger, I knew how to knit like a scarf, but it wasn't like anything elaborate. But those skills, I don't know why. I just yeah, I think you just have to like continue doing that stuff. Otherwise,
Exactly. So a lot's going on this week. Do you want to see if you can share that article,
okay.
Brave New Normal?
Let me see. Yeah. Zoom. All right. Just says share screen.
Yep,
Desktop. Do you see it?
I see it. Y'all see that? I see it. So probably everyone else is seeing it. So we're good.
Okay. Awesome.
So can you read?
First share screen.
You, yeah, yay.
Okay.
That's your first
So
share screen?
yeah, I want to say it is. Oh God. Yeah,
Uh,
you guys usually did it, or Oz did it. So there we go.
learn
So Brave
something
New
new.
World.
Yeah, let's read it, read through it, and then we'll discuss.
Okay. So
Oh, wait, before we do this, this was submitted by Daniel Geary. He lives here in Utah, probably about 20 miles from me. And we just experienced an earthquake last night, and it was really funny because I was getting ready to text him and ask him if he felt it, and he already had emailed me about it. It was crazy. So it's just an aftershock of that big one we had. But pretty cool to have friends like that, friends of the show. Daniel Gary. Actually, the two articles I want to go over were submitted both by Daniel Gary. So thank you so much, Daniel Gary. Yeah, friend of the show, Daniel Gary. Okay, now we can.
wait, hold on. I'm still echoing. Apparently, let me.
You're echoing. Oh, maybe
Shoot.
because I need to put my earplugs in. That might help. Or earplugs, earphone things. Let's see if that helps
If
before
it
you
doesn't
start
work, I think
reading.
I know what the issue is. Hold
Okay,
on.
testing, testing. Now you talk and see if there's still an echo.
Is there still an echo? Anybody?
Your
Am I
guess is
echoing?
okay. Yeah, Moose Gal says you're echoing. No, that was before though. Have Whitney hold the microphone closer to her mouth. I already told you that, but.
Hold on. I'll experiment before I read this. 1 second, guys. Sorry.
Oh, wait, that was way louder. What do you both think of the Americans that are out protesting their state's shelter stay-at-home orders? I know that's happening in Michigan and North Carolina. I think that's just ridiculous. I mean, they should be instead protesting that the low-paid essential workers aren't getting hazard pay or sick pay. That's what they should be protesting, not the stay-at-home orders. I'm sorry. I just, please refer back to the show I did yesterday if you have questions about that. But yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Um,
Okay, can you hear me?
oh man, wow, that's loud. Okay,
Shit, no, I can't.
there's kind of a fuzzy thing. Let's see. Better. Because if not says better. I think you're fine if you just hold that microphone up to your mouth from your earphones. that was really loud, but it was like there was a vibration or a fuzziness.
Okay, I can't put. I have to figure that out down the road. So
No,
I'll try to.
put your the other one in, the one with the microphone side, and just hold that microphone piece up to your
I
mouth.
can't put the microphone in without like not hearing you. It's weird. I haven't figured it out.
No, the on your thing, you know how there's a little microphone piece. If you just hold it up to your mouth while you're talking,
Technical difficulties. Okay.
there you
Hopefully
go.
this
That,
works.
yes, that.
Oh my goodness. Okay, Brave New
Yes,
World.
you're very loud now. Very good. Yes.
Oh, all right. Sorry, guys. So, or go ahead and read this article.
Yes, you don't have to talk very loud now. It's working, I think.
Oh shoot, I'm like yelling into this now. Okay.
Just hold it up close and talk normal.
Okay. I'm too excited.
Are you freezing? Uh-oh, she's freezing. So I guess I'll start reading it. So the war on populism is finally over. Go ahead, take a wild guess who won. Oh my God, I can't scroll it because she's got control of the screen. Okay, I guess I can write it over here. Um, I'll give you a hint. It wasn't the Russians or the white supremacists or the Juanes, I don't know how to pronounce that, Jaunes, or Jeremy Corbyn's Nazi death cult, or the misogynist Bernie Bros, or the mega hat terrorists, or any of the other real or fictional populist forces that global capitalism has been waging war on for the last 4 years. What? You weren't aware that global capitalism was fighting a war on populism? That's okay. Most other folks weren't. It wasn't officially announced or anything. It was launched in the summer of 2016, just as the War on Terror was ending. As a sequel to the War on Terror, or a variation on the War on Terror, or a continuation of the War on Terror, or whatever, it doesn't really matter anymore because now we're fighting the war on death or the war on minor cold like symptoms, depending on your age and general state of health. That's right, folks. Once again, global capitalism, aka the world, is under attack by an evil enemy. Global Cap just can't catch a break from the moment it defeated communism and became a global ideological hegemon. It has been one evil enemy after another. No sooner had it celebrated winning the Cold War and started ruthlessly resurrecting and privatizing everything than it was savagely attacked by Islamic terrorists, and so was forced to invade Iraq and Afghanistan and kill and torture a lot of people and destabilize the entire Middle East and illegally surveil anybody. And, well, you remember the War on Terror. Then, just as the War on Terror seemed to be finally winding down, I've got to scroll. And I can't find my cursor. Okay. So then, just as the war on terror seemed to be finally winding down, and the only terrorists left were the self-radicalized terrorists, many of whom weren't even actual terrorists, and it looked like global cap was finally going to be able to finish privatizing and debt enslaving everything and everyone in peace. Wouldn't you know it, we were attacked again, this time by global conspiracy of Russian-backed neo-fascist populists. The populists is in quotations. And then I lost it. Okay. Then I lost my place. Damn it. See, this is why I suck because I don't have very good like vision, so my vision
Oh, you're
skips.
doing fine.
Okay. Privatizing, debt enslaving everything and everyone in peace. When you know it, we were attacked again, this time by the global conspiracy of Russian-backed neo-fascist populists that caused the Brexit and elected Trump and tried to elect Corbyn and Bernie Sanders and lose the Gillets Yanes, I don't know how to pronounce that, on France, and who have been threatening the fabric of Western democracy with dissension sowing Facebook memes. Okay, you continue from there now that you're back.
Okay. Unfortunately, unlike the war on terror, the war on populism didn't go that well. After 4 years of fighting, Global Cap, aka the neoliberal resistance, they had snuffed both Corbyn and Sanders, but they had totally blown the Russian gate psyop. And
Psyop,
so,
yeah, psyop.
psyop. And so we're looking at 4 more years of Trump, and Lord knows how many of Johnson in the UK, which had actually left the European Union, and the Galicians weren't going away, and basically populism was still on the rise, if not in reality, in hearts and minds. And also, just as the war on populism had replaced or redefined the war on terror, the war on death has been officially launched to replace or redefine the war on populism, which means, you guessed it, once again, it's time to roll out another brave new normal. The character of this brave new normal is, at this point, unmistakably clear, so clear that most people cannot see it because their minds are not prepared to accept it, so they do not recognize it, though they are looking right at it. Like Dolores in the Westworld series, it doesn't look like anything to them. To the rest of us, it looks rather totalitarian. So, in the span of approximately 100 days, the entire global capitalist empire has been transformed into a de facto police state. Constitutional rights have been suspended. Most of us are under house arrest. Police are rounding up anyone not cooperating with the new emergency measures. They are pulling riders off of public transportation, arresting people whose papers aren't in order, harassing, beating, intimidating, and arbitrarily detaining anyone they decide is a danger to public health. Authorities are openly threatening to forcibly pull people out of their homes and quarantine them. Cops are hunting down runaway grandmothers. They're raiding service churches and synagogues. People are being forced to wear ankle monitors. Families out for a walk are being menaced by robots and Orwellian drones. So counterterrorism troops have been deployed to deal with non-complainant rule breakers. Anyone the U.S. authorities deem to have intentionally spread the coronavirus can be arrested and charged as a coronavirus terrorist. Artificial intelligence firms are working with governments to implement systems to log and track our contacts and movements. As a recent foreign policy article put it, quote, "The counterterrorism analogy is useful because it shows the direction of travel. See, imagine a new coronavirus patient is detected. Once he or she tests positive, the government could use cell phone data to trace everyone he or she has been in close proximity to, perhaps focusing on those people who were in contact for more than a few minutes. Your cell phone signal could then be used to enforce quarantine decisions. Leave your apartment and the authorities will know. Leave your phone behind and they will call you. Run the battery down and a police car will be at your door in a matter of minutes." So I could go on, but I think you get the picture. Well, you either do or you don't. And this is the really terrifying part of the war on death and our brave new normal, not so much the totalitarianism. Anyone who's been paying attention is not terribly shocked at the global cap's decision to implement a global police state. The simulation of democracy is all fine and good until the unwashed masses start to get unruly and require a reminder of who's in charge, which is what we are being treated to currently. So, no, the terrifying part is how millions of people immediately switched off their critical faculties, got into line, and started goose stepping and parroting hysterical propaganda and reporting their neighbors to the police for going outside for a walk or jog, and then sadistically shrieked abuse down at them like the goodbye Jews girls in Schindler's List as they were wrestled to the ground and arrested. They are out there right now on the internet, millions of these well meaning fascists patrolling for signs of the slightest deviation from the official coronavirus narrative, bombarding everyone with meaningless graphics, decontextualized death statistics, x-rays of fibro- fibrotic lungs, photos of refrigerated morgue trucks, mass graves, and other sensationalistic horrors intended to short-circuit critical thinking and shut down any and all forms of dissent. Although undeniably cowardly and sickening, this kind of behavior is also not shocking. Sadly, when you terrorize people enough, the majority will regress to their animal instincts. It isn't a question of ethics or politics, it is purely a question of self preservation. When you cancel the normal structure of society and place everyone in a state of emergency, well, it's like what happens in a troop of chimpanzees when the alpha chimp dies or is killed by a challenger. The other chimps run around grimacing until it's clear who the new dominant primate is. Then they bend over to demonstrate their submission. Totalitarians understand this. Sadists and cult leaders understand this. When the people you are dominating get unruly and start questioning your right to dominate them, you need to fabricate a state of emergency and make everyone feel very afraid so that they turn or return to you for protection from whatever evil enemy is out there threatening the cult or fatherland or whatever. Then, once they've returned to the fold and stopped questioning your right to dominate them, you can introduce a new set of rules that everyone needs to follow to prevent this kind of thing happening again. This is obviously what is happening at the moment, but what you probably want to know is why is it happening and why is it happening at this precise moment? Lucky for you, I have a theory. No, it doesn't involve Bill Gates, Jared Kushner, the World Health Organization, and a global conspiracy of Chinese Jews defiling our precious body fluids with all their satanic alien 5G technology. It's a little less exciting and more abstract than that, although some of these characters are probably part of it. All right, probably not the Chinese Jews or the satanic alien Illuminati. See, I try to focus more on systems like global capitalism than on individuals and on models of power rather than the specific people in power at any given time. Looking at things that way, this global lockdown and our brave new normal makes perfect sense. Stay with me now, this gets kind of heaty. What we are expecting is a further evolution of the post-ideological model of power that came into being when global capitalism became a global hegemonic system after the collapse of the Soviet Union. In such a global hegemonic system, ideology is rendered obsolete. The system has no external enemies and thus no ideological adversaries. The enemies of the global hegemonic system, by definition, can only be internal. Every war becomes an insurgency, a rebellion breaking out within the system as there is no longer any outside. As there is no longer any outside, no external ideology adversary. The global hegemonic system dispenses with ideology entirely. Its ideology becomes normality. Any challenge to normality is henceforth regarded as an abnormality, a deviation from the norm, and automatically delegitimized. The system does not need to argue with deviations and abnormalities, as it was to argue with opposing ideologies in order to legitimize itself. It simply needs to eliminate them. Opposing ideologies become pathologies, okay. Exist, I can't even say that word even though I know how to say it.
I can't.
Existential threats to the health of the
Existential.
system. Oh my
Yes.
goodness. Okay, well, I'm
This
taking a
is
drink of
an
water.
interesting article. It really is. It's just so much to
So,
it.
how much? Oh, it's almost over. Okay. And then we can talk about it.
Yeah. The conclusion is probably the best part. I mean, I don't know. I didn't read it before today's, but the conclusions are usually the best. So
I
you
know
can
it
put
just
the.
wraps it up. Okay, so
Uh oh.
global hegemonic. Oh
You just went out for just a second. You're back. You're good.
no. So, in other words, the global hegemonic system, i.e., global capitalism, becomes a body, the only body, unopposed from without, but attacked from within by a variety of opponents, terrorists, extremists, populists, whoever. These internal opponents attack the global hegemonic body, much like a disease, like a cancer, an infection, or a virus. And the global hegemonic body reacts like any other body would. Is this model starting to sound familiar? I hope so, because this is what is happening right now. The system, i.e., global capitalism, not a bunch of guys in a room hatching hatching a scheme to sell vaccines, is reacting to the last 4 years of populist revolt in a predictable manner. Global cap is attacking the virus that has been attacking its hegemonic body. No, not the coronavirus, a much more destructive and multiplicitous virus. Sorry, I fudged that. Resistance to the hegemony of global capitalism and its post-ideological ideology. And if it isn't clear, if it, I was trying to trip up. If it isn't
It's a
already clear
lot
to you
to
yet,
read. Go ahead. You're good.
that this coronavirus in no way warrants the totalitarian emergency measures that have been imposed on most of humanity. It will become clear in the months ahead, despite the best efforts of the health authorities to count virtually anything as a COVID-19 death, the numbers are going to tell the tale. The experts are already memory holding or recalibrating or contextualizing their initial apocalyptic projections. The media is toning down the hysteria. The show isn't totally over yet, but you can feel it gradually coming to an end. In any event, whenever it happens, days, weeks, or months from now, global cap will dial down the totalitarianism and leave it and let us out so we can get back to work in whatever remains of the global economy. And won't we all be so grateful? There will be massive celebrations in the streets, Italian tenors singing on balconies, chorus lines of dancing nurses. The Gilet Juns will call it quits. The Putin Nazis will stop with the memes. And Americans will elect Joe Biden as president. All right, maybe not the last part, but the point is it will be a brave new normal. People will forget all that populism nonsense and just be grateful for whatever McJobs they can get to be able to pay the interest on their debts because, hey, global capitalism isn't so bad compared to living under house arrest. And if not, no problem for global cap. They'll just have to lock us down again and keep locking us down over and over indefinitely until we get our minds right. I mean, it's not like we're going to do anything about it, right? Didn't we just demonstrate that? Sure, we'll bitch and moan again, but then they'll whip out those pictures of mass graves and death trucks and the grass and all those scary projections, and the block wart hotlines will start ringing again, and dot dot dot.
Oh my God, what a fucking great story, right?
Yeah.
And this kind of brings together both my viewpoint and Sam Mitchell's all in one. Here it is. Here it is.
So there's definitely a lot to unpack. I mean,
There's so much,
I
and
don't like go
I
into.
can't argue with any of it. Can you?
No, I mean, it has some very
Night,
interesting
honey.
points. I mean,
Love you.
I don't even know. The Brave New Normal, I think, was used for climate change, but now we're dealing with a different scenario, which is the coronavirus and what the consequences of dealing
I
with a global pandemic in like the 21st century.
That's the part I didn't
Um,
think about though. Like when they were talking about how, they're gonna wrench us down until we're just grateful to work for the man.
yeah, that was a good point.
It's like,
I can relate.
oh wow. Okay, but that just to me fires me up even more about doing the sit down strike. It's like, F you guys. F you guys. I'm not gonna let you capitalize on the essential workers, and they have all the power. The essential workers have all the power in the world. They just need to take it right now. They have all the power. So yeah, this is bullshit. And we could end it. We just have to take the power back. And I mean, yeah, they will use this to break you even more. I mean, they've already given the stimulus package, gave all the money to the oligarchs and the corporations and all that. They've already given all the money to the top and little
Correct.
scraps to everybody else just to appease them and, oh, look how wonderful we are. We're giving you some of our scraps. And bullshit. I'm calling bullshit on that. Am I crazy for calling bullshit on that? Because
No. It's a legit concern. Why is the top once again being bailed out when they just got a tax cut like 3 years ago? Aren't they
yeah,
okay?
and yeah, they're fine. We don't need to bail out
Right.
the airlines. We don't need to bail out the cruise lines. We don't need to bail out the banks. The banks have been bailed out ever since um, they voted to keep the bailouts going. There was bailouts going, and we didn't even know about them. They didn't have to approve them through Congress anymore. And then they got huge more bailouts. The corporations were like, we don't want them if there's strings attached. It's like they don't need them. But this is the thing. We really need to just stand our ground and say F you. F you. Let's get our butts in our couches or in our gardens. I prefer gardens, or in our kitchens baking and cooking and doing wonderful things that way. And fucking don't sit there and serve the rich. I know the healthcare workers have to be out there, but why do fast food people have to work? They don't have to work. That's not essential. If you are not
I know.
absolutely.
There's conflicting issues. Yeah.
Yes, just let those corporations fail. Let them fail. They need to drop. They need to fail, and we need to get things back to. I mean, it's never gonna be
I know.
normal. There's not ever gonna be normal. That was the next article. Let me just read the headline of this one. I'm an ER doctor in New York. None of us will ever be the same. Okay, that's the next article, but we don't necessarily have to get into that one today because that was a very long article and there's a lot to parse through there. But yeah, we have the. I mean, anyone who's an essential worker, which doesn't necessarily mean you're essential. It just means you're essential to keep those corporations going. Um, for instance, I'm considered an essential worker. I sell garden chemicals.
Hey, but
I don't
you're
understand.
important.
I mean, gardening is important, but you can do that organically. You don't need chemicals to do it. Don't F with the fairies bosses bio. Trump constantly contradicts himself to cover his ass. Okay, we'll read some comments and then we'll move. But oh my God, that was
I feel
such.
like I want to talk about this more though. Like,
I
there's so much to
know
say.
there is a. We will continue to talk. I think this article alone is enough to cover this
I'll
episode.
start. Yeah.
Um, but I want to take comments and then go back because
Okay.
that was a lot, and it covers both. That's what's exciting to me is it shows both my side of it and Sam Mitchell's Vegematic side. Like, bam, the capitalistic, and we're just being slaves of, but they're going to try break us by putting all these wrenches on, making you stay home until you break, and then you're just thankful to go back to work for the man. Wow. Just that alone is like,
Yeah, the elites are like taking advantage of the situation. Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, and they always take advantage of a crisis. That's just what they do. Okay, so guys, if you want us to read a comment, please make it easy on me. Do what Moose Gal does and do at the Natural Progressive. If you have to, copy and paste what Moose Gal does when she wants a comment read. Do that. You can do super chat. That's the other option. But I know everyone's broke, so do what Moose Gal does. So it highlights it for me and I can see it. So Moose Gal says, if you let these corporations fail, will the United States have enough jobs for its citizens? When the U.S. government gave us all those free trade agreements, we never replaced. Yeah, well, free trade agreements meant that all of our jobs were pushed overseas. And if you localize things, you will have jobs locally.
Correct.
Um,
Yeah.
and I would like to see everything very localized, very communal. I'm talking within like a 5 mile radius, not where I have to drive hundreds of miles to all my different job locations, or some people go 45 minutes to work. I'm talking about really localizing, where you can go down the street to your local neighbor who does farming and get goods from his farm, a small business, a real small business, not someone who has more than 50 employees, but a real small business, family owned, small business, and maybe even trade stuff you have for stuff you need. That kind of society, that's the only sustainable kind of society. If you have to import your goods, you're not sustainable. Listen to Derek Jensen, who, by the way, is coming back on my show. I think it's April 27th at 1 p.m. Mountain, or no, Pacific, 2 p.m. Mountain. Um, and it's going to be a Q&A. So prepare your questions for Derek Jensen. He's really good at this kind of thing. Very knowledgeable. He's studied it his whole entire life, and he's been an activist his whole entire life, and he's an author. So really can't wait to have him on again. I'm a huge Derek Jensen fan. But oh my God. Anthony, and this is okay, and he tagged me. Good, Anthony, perfect. Yeah, a reset, Julie. Yes, a reset. Reset. I don't know if I missed another comment, but that's the way I look at it: is a reset of our entire society, of our entire system, like just a total reset. Like, crash it down and start all over. Only let the big corporations fail, and let the small business people like they did in the 20s or whatever. Like, I don't know if any of you have ever seen the movie Seabiscuit. If you haven't seen the movie Seabiscuit, watch the movie Seabiscuit, because it tells the story of a guy who came to the United States with 26 cents in his pocket. And then he just became, a businessman, and found a need and fulfilled it. And that's what it used to mean to be a capitalist, is you would be able to figure something out, that fill a need, and build it up. The problem is that those things got too big and too global when we need to keep things very local. If you find a local need you can fulfill and just keep it local. I don't know. Maybe I've been.
It's all about capitalism, right? The global capitalism is
Yeah,
going to keep you down.
yeah, and getting rich instead of just making a living and being happy. Um, I would love to just make a living and be happy and not have to stress. Like, wouldn't that be that's my ideal world? Just, I want to, make something that people can purchase. I mean, I have skills. I do leather work. Like, I make stupid things like bracelets, but I can make useful items too. Um, but, things that people could use and trade them for other things. I mean, these are not useful. They're just pretties. But I can make useful things out of leather and trade them. People need a gun holster, because I'm sorry, people will need guns. But I can make things like this, and those are skills that you could use locally. Hey, I do this, you give me that, and you trade. Um, Sorry to flash my gun, but yes, I am a gun owner. Um, I don't use it. It's like, it's just there in case I need it, but it's not like I'm going to shoot anybody with it. I have no
No, it's
intention
for
of shooting
defense.
anybody with it. But, when you have animals and you can't get a vet for several days, you don't want them to suffer if they have something that they're not going to survive. You don't want them to suffer. So it's really important for animal lovers who have animals to have a way to put an animal out of their misery. I wish humans had the same option. You can't go shoot a human who's suffering, which is really sucky, by the way. I just think that's sucky. Remember the whole Dr. Kevorkian thing, and everyone was all mad because he was helping people commit suicide who were dying
Oh,
anyway, and
I
didn't
know
want
that's
to
an issue.
suffer.
Yeah, like assisted, like
Yes, this is
death,
suicide.
or yeah, suicide, whatever. I don't know the term. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a big issue. Um, Wait, someone said in the comments, it was a good one.
Yeah, let's read some comments. And we can...
Rich Diana said, some say social distancing needed till 2022.
Yes, I saw that on the news today. Freaking crazy. Freaking crazy.
Yeah.
I don't doubt that, just because of the vaccine's not going to be done. But even when they come up with a vaccine, I don't know about you all, but I'm a little hesitant to take it. I don't.
Especially if it's manufactured so fast. But I know it's hard.
Moscow says I'm going to shop more locally. We actually have farmers market in my town. I never checked it out, but I will. This Illinois stay at home. Wait, God damn it! I hate it when it moves out of my view when I'm reading a comment. But thank you guys for finally using the tag thing. Stay at home order has caused me to rethink how I want to spend my time. Yeah, yeah, me too. I mean, but I'm very, very grateful for this extra time, and I'm hoping other people, instead of going to malls and movie theaters and all of that, God, garden, bake. You can even grow a garden on your windowsill. I mean, on your porch if you have a porch. I mean, there's so much you can do. And make sourdough bread. Make your own bread. It's so rewarding. It really is. We enjoyed having the Natural Progressive on that. Oh, the Daily Dive, I forgot to mention. I promised Oz I'd mention I was on the Daily Dive, Uphill Media, today, and I might be back tomorrow if Rhonda's still sick. I replaced Rhonda Walker. Um, it was last minute, so I didn't know what the hell we were going to talk about or anything. But I thought it was fun. And my sound levels are a little off, but we're working on that. Oz, I think he has it fixed. Chris Foster says, slightly different scenario over here. I'm still getting 80% of my wage so far. people are going a bit stir crazy, but it could be worse. Yeah, it could be a lot worse. It could be a lot worse. There was somebody who made the comparison. Um, well, oh my God, why can't I think of her name? You know that young gal that was stuck in an attic, during the Nazi period for like 3 years.
Yeah, Anne
And
Frank.
Frank, yeah, okay, it could be worse.
True.
It could be worse. Um, in comparison, I don't think we have it all that bad, especially if you have property and animals. And um, God, I love my chickens. I know, there's a lot of vegans here and stuff, and I understand. I'm not a vegan. I don't like killing animals for food, and I wouldn't raise them for food, but except for my chickens who give me eggs, and I don't have a rooster, so those eggs would never mature to be chickens. It would never happen, so they'd go to waste if we did not use them. And we treat our chickens just like pets. They're wonderful. But you can't buy chickens. Everyone's buying chickens like crazy right now. They're selling out of the stores, and you know damn well 90% of the people buying them do not know how to take care of them. That's what pisses me off. They probably haven't done any research. Oh, well, let's just buy some chickens and stick them in a pen on their little tiny baby chicks. And without a heat lamp, they'll die within 24 hours. So
Wow.
it's just freaking sad. It's sad. But yeah, well, I'm glad you guys are getting 80% of your pay because I'm fighting to get 70% of my pay through short-term disability. And cross your fingers for me, people. Because as of today, I'm not getting paid dick. um, yeah, and Frank, everyone's saying and Frank now. Yeah, sorry, I get brain farts sometimes. I just do. I can
Anne Frank
picture
was
it.
evil.
And
Yeah,
that
she
story.
was behind like her family like had to hid
No
out.
TV, no phone, no
Nothing. Yeah.
Facebook, no nothing. Just her diary in a darkened windows in the attic. Come on, guys, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. But I mean, I understand people not wanting to lose their freedoms, and I especially understand the point where they're saying that they're trying to break us through this. And but if you say, hey, this is pretty cool, let's go ahead and sit home on our couches and wait for capitalism to fall. That's not such a bad thing. I don't. So screw them. Don't fall
Well,
into their freaking trap. Don't say, oh, please save me. Please let me come back to work, you
oh my
capitalist
gosh.
gods, you oligarchy. Please let me come back to work. Please let me come back. Gonna have a little more.
Can I have some mosa? No. Oh my god, I totally forgot what I was gonna say. Damn it, Oliver Twist.
Yeah, yep, I threw Oliver Twist in there. Sorry.
Please
Could I
do.
have some more, sir? Please, have some more.
Shit, I totally forgot what I was gonna say now.
That's what they're doing to us.
Oh yeah, they're just giving you the bare minimum, dare to ask for more kind of situation.
Yes, don't even give in to that. Say fuck you. I don't need your slop. Don't, just throw it back at them and say screw you. I'm sitting on this fucking couch until it's safe for me to go out there. Fucking capitalism be
Oh
damned.
god.
Keep your fucking job. Do it.
That's
Keep your
it.
job.
They're trying to get the economy back open and like the cases are like through the roof and like they're worried about profit.
Yes, they're worried more
So
about profit than they are
oh
human
god.
lives. It's
Some
clear
guy
as day.
I have something to
Clear as.
say. I thought about it.
Oh, sorry. I want to interrupt
No, it's
you.
fine. Go ahead. It's just like, well, I'm gonna have to say it.
Go
Okay,
ahead.
so the governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis, Republican, he's like known as a loyalist to Trump. He like kicked somebody out, like his little like I don't know, their little like platform. Kick somebody out talking about like how the social distancing will most likely be till 2022. So they're trying to suppress that. Like they're
Hmm.
so eager to get back into like,
Yeah.
despite people are gonna die, they want that economy.
Oh,
Also,
yeah.
I wanted to say that like it's interesting how the economy our booming economy is linked to exploitation of nature, but now right we don't have how so like it totally shows that we can't like humans and nature can't exist in the capitalist system.
No, they can't.
Like now like the animals are coming back and stuff, but we're suffering financially. You know, it's like there's this,
Yeah,
I don't
give and
know.
take. It's give and take.
Yeah,
The
it's not
people take
connected.
and the animals suffer. So the people just stop taking because they're forced to, and then the animals start to flourish. No, it's not. I mean, we're already screwed. I mean, the environment's already screwed up. But I really like to see the small resurgence of what's going on. And oh, it's really funny because Sam Mitchell read an article. I don't know if he read it last night and it posted today or whatever. And he was trying to make this argument about not closing down society, but at the same time, the article he read said the biggest problem is emissions, emissions. He was saying that yeah, people, it may work in big, highly populated areas, but other places, you still have a chainsaw or a saw or something to tear down the environment. Humans always will. That's true, 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 true. Um, but the emissions have been decreased greatly since this COVID lockdown. Greatly. And you can't argue that. You can't argue that. And you can't argue civil rights on one hand. I love Sam Mitchell to death, by the way. But you can't argue civil rights on one hand and on the other hand say you think everybody should be involuntarily sterilized. I, however, hold the same values. Okay, I don't give a fuck about your civil rights when the planet's dying. So I can say it's okay to lock everybody down and let environments flourish a little bit more and stop mining and letting gas prices crash and letting corporations crash if they would stop propping them up. But I don't know how long they can keep propping them up. But I can say that and be consistent. Like, I'm consistent. Yes, I do believe people should be sterilized. I do, because people have overpopulated the planet. So I do believe that, well, I think it should be voluntary, though. But I think enough people who want to be sterilized, if they're educated and don't want to populate, should be able to free of charge, be sterilized, male, female, whatever. Um, and I also can say, stay the fuck home and quit polluting the planet and quit going to malls and movie theaters and shopping center and just quit that capitalist fucking mentality. Just stop that. I think I'm being pretty consistent in my view.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
I've known you. Yeah. I mean, yeah, live locally and stop like chasing that capitalist
yeah,
fantasy.
quit
Like,
trying to be better than everybody else. Quit trying to have all the little doodads and baubles and everything that you think makes your life better, but doesn't. What makes your life better is experiencing nature, seeing the birds sing outside, the blue sky, you know, getting your hands in the dirt. That's what makes life better. It doesn't make life better to go to a shopping mall. The stupid people making up like their favorite stores in their houses in lockdown because they miss them so much. So they make mock-ups of Target and Starbucks. What the fuck? You miss that so much that you have to make mock-ups at it in your house when you can't go there.
yeah, that's weird. Shit, hold on.
Oh, your COVID cough. Okay.
Oh no, sorry guys.
All
I
right, I
should
got
have
to read
muted it.
comments because I paused them and we're getting way behind. Anthony Davis says people could raise chickens back in the 1985. A neighbor had chickens in his backyard in the city and gave eggs away to his friends, neighbors. I could hear his rooster daily. Anthony, I have chickens. I love my chickens. I think everyone should have chickens because they're great, wonderful pets and they give you a sustainable food supply. I mean, our hens right now are molting, so we only get one a day, but when they're going good, it's 5 eggs a day, and we share with our neighbors. We share with so many neighbors. It's like you can't leave our house without a dozen eggs. And we only have 5 chickens.
They
So,
do weigh a lot.
yeah, it's
Popping
crazy.
them out.
So, Bio says most people need to feed their family. Oh my God, I'm going to lose it once I try to click down here. Which is okay. I lost his comment, damn it. Can't we just say that any man having his third child needs to be sterilized or being put down? Bio. Okay, well, whatever it takes to reduce the population. I'm sorry, coronavirus isn't going to reduce our population. I mean,
No,
it may slow down the growth, but it's not going to reduce it.
isn't that
I
amazing
wish.
though?
I
Like,
know it is, but how do you counteract 250,000 new people on this planet? I mean, discounting the deaths, so 250,000 more people on the planet every single day. It's going to take a lot, a lot. Millions and millions and millions and millions and millions would have to die to counteract that.
and
I
maybe we might have to face like a whole bunch of coming up this. I mean, I'm not trying to fearmonger, but that's what like reports have been saying, like from the Pentagon, right? Like all these other extreme viruses we have to face. So this is probably going to be. I don't know. I don't know how long this is going to last, but I'm sure there'll be more this in like a couple
there
decades.
should be more.
Especially if more and more people are, that issue of we're like going into wildlands and we're like interacting with
Mhm.
things like animals that have viruses that we're intermixing, and then like bats and stuff, right? They crap in like poultry, and then we eat the poultry. So we're being exposed the further we humans keep expanding.
Yeah, it's actually amazing that we have not suffered a big pandemic until
I
now. I found
know.
the rest of Bio's comment. Most people need to
Okay.
feed their families. That's just how it is. The machine always wins. I know people need to feed their damn families. Stop having families that big. I guess Osama showed up. I see someone. Jilly said hi to Osama. Um, so did Pat the Batman fan. Thanks, Valhalla, for your super chat. Thank you so much. You're awesome. Um, Remember, guys, if you want me to see your comment, put at the natural progressive before your comment, the at sign, the natural progressive, and it will highlight it so I can see it. Benjamatic is here. Okay, sorry.
Hey, Midge.
I have a YouTube thing. I'm a fan of Vegematic, so. And he was just on Monday. Did you guys see Monday with Vegematic? He is so much fun. He is so much fun.
Has a
So.
shirt. I see dead people. I remember. I remember that because I didn't say anything at the time. But I
Did you
remember.
watch his video about insults you can use? Oh, go to
I'll
his
look at
channel and watch insults you can use. It's
insults.
insults you can use. It's
Okay.
fabulous, fabulous. So everyone go to the Vegematic channel and check out insults you can use. And if you haven't subbed to him, please sub to him if you want some lighthearted fun with a little dash of seriousness. Not much, a little dash of seriousness. Go to Vegematic. He is fabulous. So it's good. It's good to see you. Um, really love. Yeah, you're really late. It's like 3 minutes till the end of the show. But God, we already talked about a lot. Someone says I see stupid people. They don't know they're stupid. They're everywhere. They watch cartoons on cable news channels and they think they are real. I know people like that. I do. I do. Um, Anthony Davis, Humpty Dumpty Tribe is the best. I've been following him for years now. Yeah, I love Hambone, Sam Mitchell, Humpty Dumpty Tribe, Collapse Chronicles, um, Good Times. It's nothing. If you if you can handle sarcasm and shit, I don't know how to explain um, Hambone. He's a caricature, like literally a caricature. Vegematic's blushing. Good. You keep blushing. And hopefully I'll see you on Monday. So that'd be fun. Julie says, Osama, stop watching stupid people. Osama, I can't wait to get your flour. By the end of the week, Osama sent me flour
Oh,
because
nice.
flour's been really hard to get here. And I got to make sourdough. And if I want to show y'all how to make it, I have to have enough flour to show y'all how to make starter and stuff. So um, we're going to make sourdough together.
The cooking show.
No, it's some old world skills that you need now.
That's
Survival. It'll be Survival Saturdays is the
Survival Saturdays.
Yeah, Survival Saturday, and we'll just because we have to have the day of the week mentioned in the show name because that's what we do. It has to have the same letter beginning, like Monday Madness, Women's Wednesday, and it'll be Survival Saturday, and there's Freak Out Friday. It's just a theme.
Oh
It's
my
just
god.
the way.
We one for Tuesday and Thursday.
Yeah, Vigilance is America's Doomsday Prophet. Yep, that's definitely Sam Hambone is definitely a Doomsday Prophet from hell. Um, but he is fighting hard against the collapse right now. He fought for it so long and now he's fighting against it. It's like, come on, just let it happen, Sam. Let it happen. Let it happen. I just want it to happen.
It's probably going to come.
I
I mean,
know.
if we're supposed to be inside for 2 years, I don't know how without paying people in America, I don't know that's crazy.
Yeah, but there's certain people they need. Those are the ones that need to stand up. Bye, Torstein. Thanks for coming. I guess he's getting out of here. I don't know. It's probably late there. Have a good one. Thank you. Check out Going South, another good channel. He keeps track of all kinds of stuff, the ice and the carbon dioxide in the air and all that stuff. He's really good. Um, so if you're not following Torstein or Going South, please follow. I used to bake bread all the time till Dr. Atkins said it was the devil's handiwork. I don't know how much I believe in the Atkins diet. I don't know. But sourdough is different because it's fermented. It's so much healthier for you than the bread you buy in the store. Fermented bread is not the same as any other bread. It's fermented. There's a reason you ferment things, to preserve them. Fermented vegetables, you know, fermenting, like, what's that beverage they make? Why can't I think of the name of it? Because I always lose my words. You know that fermented tea they make? What's it called?
I wish I knew. Comments.
Comments, fermented tea. What do they
When
call
I
it?
phoned a friend, I don't know.
I know.
What's a ferment?
Okay. Then Whitney freezes, of course. Fermented tea for 10 points. Fermentation category, fermented tea. Um, Crap, I have a bottle of it in my fridge. Probably be quicker to go and get it. Kombucha. Thank you. Cindy Seeley, you win 10 points. And
Hibachi or something?
kombucha. Cindy Seeley got it. Choctaw Warrior says moonshine. Beer. I will accept all of the above.
Oh, I guess
10
it is
points.
kombucha.
Kombucha. I have a bottle of it in my fridge. I haven't made it myself. I'll be
KOMBUCH.
fermented someday, says Rich Diane.
Is fermented tea good for you? Fermented tea has
Yeah.
been consumed for 1,000 of years.
Oh, veg,
It has
gross.
health. What? Oh no.
Veg, raw, natural
Ew.
toe cheese. Yeah. Oh, God.
Sorry, too much.
Veg.
I can't. Wait, kombucha also contains antioxidants. It
Uh-huh.
can kill harmful bacteria and may help fight several diseases.
So from all fermented foods do that. They're good for you.
So, no.
So fermented foods are good. I looked up sourdough is lacto fermented. Yeah, it's fermented. They're talking about staggered return to work here, maybe 2 months back, then furloughed again. Nothing confirmed though. Thank you, Chris Foster. Yeah, I mean, this virus, they think they can just go back to normal. But the thing is, they're going to make the essential workers take all the heat. They're going to make them be in the line of fire, um, endanger their lives, endanger their families' lives, and not give them the hazard pay, not give them sick pay. They're going to go to work sick, and then it's going to spread like wildfire. And then they're going to go, ooh, ooh, our
But they're still
economy,
thinking.
our
I know.
economy. But the economy, you got to go to work sick. I don't, you might die, but it's for the economy. Die for the economy. I don't want to die for someone's corporation's bottom line. I just don't. Um, I think you could stop that though. I think you can stop. I think if they just sat down and said, screw you, give us hazard pay, give us paid sick time as much as we need, no questions asked, and those that do end up going to work, give them, a big hazard pay raise and let them do that. I mean, but those people like me should be able to stay at home, and I think if you have a good reason, like you're moving from one state to the other, you should be able to do that. Just maybe you have to self quarantine once you get to that new state, and be careful on your way there. You know, um, I think that's, I don't know, but I'm not the ruler of the world, so it doesn't matter what I say. It doesn't matter. Things are going to happen the way they're going to happen. I have absolutely zero influence on anybody. So,
Well, you see what we saw with Joe Biden. We don't need to get into it. It's just,
we talked
are we
about
gonna have
that.
to vote for Joe Biden?
No,
Did you
I'm
see?
not voting for Joe Biden. No, fuck no.
Oh
He
God,
won't win anyway, so don't feel guilty. He would never win against Trump, because in order for Joe Biden to win, he would have to bring over some Trump voters. He'd have to bring over some independent voters. There's no there's no movement to elect Joe Biden. And all the
no.
Bernie Sanders people are pissed. At least all the ones that are knowledgeable about what happened are pissed that Bernie would even bend a knee so badly to the establishment and support Joe Biden and not stand up for all the people that supported him. So there's that. Um, I mean, I supported Bernie Sanders, and I feel stupid because I was fooled twice. Um, I wasn't going to do it. Wasn't going to go down that road again. I was just not going to bother with the election this year. And then I went and voted for him, and my bad, they cheated again. And even earlier, Bernie bent a knee and is supporting Biden, and you could see how half-hearted he was in that support. It was horrible. Moose Gal says, do you make tea? My mom taught me to put the tea bag in a mug of water and heat in the microwave. The tea never stays hot for long. Help! I make tea a lot. I love tea. Tea is great. Um, you know, that's the way I was raised making tea, but I prefer to make the tea in a teapot, and I'll keep it on low on the after you boil it. I'll let it steep in the teapot with the tea. I use loose leaf tea, and I put it in. I have these reusable tea things, and so I'll put it in there and let it steep, and I'll just keep it on low, and then I'll fill like half a cup and drink that, and then half a cup again, and it's still warm. But actually, when I did it the old-fashioned way, I had this little, um, I don't know, like a cup thing. It's like a cup heater, like it kept it warm that you plugged
Okay.
in, and you set the cup on it, and it kept your tea warm while you were drinking it.
Oh.
And it actually had a little ceramic top that you just sat on top to help keep the heat in. It was kind of cool. I've never seen that ever again, but
No.
it was pretty freaking cool. But yeah, keeping it hot and not filling up your tea too much at a time helps a lot. So just do a pot of it and then just pour a little at a time and keep it warm on the stove. That's the best way if you don't have one of those really nifty. I still have, actually, I don't have the cup and that goes with it, but I do have I've been using it to warm wax, like scented wax, instead of using it for my teacup, because I do it the other way. But yeah, it's just like a little heating pad for a cup and keeps it warm. It's pretty cool. Uh, but there's other ways. Anyway, fun stuff. um, Bio says, I told you he was a goddamn flip flop. Sorry, not trying to be a dick. Oh, Bio. You can be a dick if you want to be a dick sometimes. It's okay. As
Oh,
long
real
as you're
quick.
not insulting anyone here, you know, that's fine. Whatever. Um, I don't care. I'd be pissed if I gave Bernie money. I know I didn't give him money this year. I did give him money in 2016, and I was very pissed. I gave him a lot of money in 2016. I gave him hundreds of dollars that I couldn't afford to give in 2016, hoping for all that he was um, pushing for, everything he stood for. I gave him tons of money, and I even gave the DNC money. only to be cheated. Only to be cheated. Oh my God. But I
And then
didn't.
Obama, endorses Joe, and then Warren finally. Oh God,
There's no
it's too
way.
much.
No one's going to vote for.
And
I mean, there's
biotech
a few
world,
people that'll
yeah.
vote for Biden, but I think they're going to switch it up before the general election. I don't think they would even dare put Biden against Trump. Trump would just wipe the floor with him. There's no way. No way. No way.
It's Andrew Cuomo, but he says he won't do it.
Yeah, I know. I watched that news conference when they
I
asked
think
him.
so, yeah.
So I stopped watching those. I'm like, I'm so done. I'm like, turn off the news. Work on your garden. Make sourdough bread. Learn to cook. Learn to sew. Learn to crochet. Learn to do whatever the hell. Just don't watch the news 24/7. Watch me, but don't watch the news
Environmental.
24/7. Yeah, just watch a few of your favorites and then shut it off and say, screw it. Screw it. Trust me, I have to watch enough news. Dee Dee Sunbeam is here. Hey, hey. Good to see you. Haven't seen you around for a while. Bernie couldn't finish. Yeah, Fish Diana. And Philly Love. It's be a bloodbath. Yeah, it'll be a bloodbath for sure.
Yeah.
Let's see. Don't look to politics to save you, Veg. Yeah, I've said that for months and months and months. I didn't even want to talk politics for the first part of
I
my.
know. He always
I'm like,
keeps that.
don't. No, I don't want to talk politics. This is not good politics. We'll talk the environment. We'll do it. I want to talk politics. And now, luckily, the election's over. It's done. Trump won. We're done.
Yeah.
So we don't have to talk about politics anymore. We're done.
Oh God, another 4 years.
I know. I'm
What
sorry.
is
I'm
this world gonna
sorry.
look
This sucks really bad. I'm very sorry. But
like?
I
It
warned
was.
people. I warned people. I warned you.
God, I know you did.
It was going to happen. Aw. Thanks, Veg. Veg says I'm a lot more entertaining than the news. Well,
Comments.
that's only because
She's. I don't even know
I
anymore.
don't even know.
It's everyone just like I don't know. I just feel like when you get to that level, like I don't know how you. They have to like play the game up there.
Yeah,
I
they
don't know.
do, and that's what's wrong with this. Is that's why we just have to collapse the whole fucking thing. Let it go down. Let it fall. Let it fail. Let civilization just collapse and have to start locally in small colonies, which is the only way any kind of organizing will work. The leaders have to actually know everybody in the community, because if they know everybody in the community, they might actually care about the people in the community. And they have to be as
Exactly.
dependent on you as you are on them. And they have to be a member of the community, a contributing member of the community. That's the only way any kind of, I don't know if you want to call it government. It's pretty more like a anarchy or tribe, small tribes, because that's how we could possibly be sustainable if we were in small tribes. Now, there's way too many people on the planet to make that work. But if you could still, mock it. We're still screwed. But you could try that. I mean, if we could just let all the big shit collapse and say fuck you to the oligarchs and not go to work for them, and not please give me some more. I'll gladly go to work for you if you give me a pence. Stop it. Stop it. Stop giving into the fucking oligarchy. Stop it. I mean, it may be tough at first, but they'll give. They'll give. They are over a barrel right now, and we need to take that power we have. Anyone who's considered an essential worker, except for those in the medical field, and we need to support those people. But I'm sorry, if you work for McDonald's, not important. Let those corporations crash. Walmart, fuck them. Go to your local grocery store, your small town independent grocery store. Fuck the big places. Say screw them. Um, it's hard. Hopefully you guys have listened to me all this time and have a good few weeks supply of food in your pantry and can handle a big sit down general strike. And hopefully you have neighbors that you can share and care with. And we do. I mean, communities, everything. If you have that community, you can survive. So, God, just build that community with the people right around you, and just say fuck the the big people. Just let them fall. Let them fail. And put them over the barrel and say, pay us what we're worth. Give us Medicare for all. And, yeah. I don't know.
Exactly. I mean, what else? We need Medicare for all, obviously,
And
because
we
of
need
what's going on
universal
now.
basic income. And then I don't know. I don't even, overall, I really just don't even want that. I don't want big government control. I guess I'm kind of libertarian that way. I just think we need to break it down to small, tiny communities. And I just only think that's the only way you even have any chance of surviving. And we need to reduce the population of the planet. And I don't know how to do that because, especially after something like this, when people get together, it's just like the baby boomers. And we talked about this last week. There's just, as soon as people can get back together, there's going to be baby booms. Yeah. I know she was just going to say exactly before she froze.
You're so right. There is going to be a baby boom.
See, I know you so well already.
There is going to, I know. I don't know. It's my internet.
All
Everyone.
right, everyone's going sleepy time. It looks like I
Okay.
think it's my sleepy time too, and
I
I
understand.
get a little loud, and I keep my husband up, and he has to get up at 2:30 in the morning, so I gotta really try to keep it to the hour long from now on because um he tries to go to bed at 7:30, and then I'm really loud. I start talking really loud, and I feel bad because I wake him up. So I got to start keeping it to the hour, and we're already 15 minutes over.
Okay.
So, you guys, Veg, thanks for dropping in. I hope you'll be on Monday again. I would love it if you're back on Monday. Pat the Batman fan, you will get an invite and email me about Jamie's singing because I really wanted her to do the outro for me soon, if not Monday. Anthony Davis, thanks for coming. Osama, he's doing this. Live long and prosper, bitches. Okay. That's the right Spock. Live long and prosper. Isn't that what that is?
No, but this means you're like an alien.
Is it
Right?
alien? I thought that
Star
was,
Trek, I think.
yeah. Live
Yeah.
long and prosper.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I never watched that.
You
I
never
know.
watched it?
No.
I watched Star Trek. I was kind of geeky as a kid. Okay.
No, that's fine.
Live long and prosper. Okay. Good night, Chris Foster. Thanks for coming. Cindy Seeley. Thank you. Rich Diana. Jilly Love. Always love to have Jilly Love. She's such a sweetheart. Dee Dee Sunbeam. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Speedy healing for everyone. Yeah. Oh my God. I'm getting the worst hot flush right now.
Oh no.
Anthony Davis. We love you too. Um, uh, Grateful Heretic. Blue cheese is the only androgenic cheese and the best choice for men. Really? Okay. I may have androgenic. Does that mean it? Okay, never mind. I don't even want to know. Book Hermit, thanks for coming. So long as we have corporate welfare, we need UBI. Yeah, I kind of understand that. Book Hermit makes very good points sometimes. A lot of times. 4 years will be punishing Doom pretty hard. I'm guessing 5 to 10 for even moderate Doom. Yeah. Okay. Who am I missing? Anybody? Bio. Thank you. Veg Demon Book Hermit. Bio, Mescal. Love you, Mescal. Thanks for coming. Val. Thank you. Thank you. Always love you. We'll see you Monday. Um, Echoes of Not. Thank you, Choctaw Warrior. Thank you, Cindy Seeley. Pat the Batman fan. I'll see you Monday. I think I got her. Torstein's already left, so okay. I think we got everybody. Sweet. Let me get over to. I got to do the ending soon thingy and get ready to transition. All right. Any last words?
Thank you for showing up on Women's Wednesday. Show up on 6 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Mountain Time for Monday Madness. The National Progressive.
Absolutely.
I'll work on that.
Yeah. And don't forget the Daily Dive. Oh, Oz, yeah. The Daily Dive will be tomorrow, 10 a.m. Pacific. The Daily Dive on Uphill Media. And I may be there tomorrow. So check So, all right, guys. Love y'all. Thanks for coming. We'll talk to you soon.
See ya.
Yeah. Live long and prosper, bitches.